Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson. My name is Grant from Soft Grant Corporation. In this lesson, I'm going to show us how to answer this NECO question. This is a 2015 NECO question on computer study. By the way, this type of question also comes out in data processing. So this question says, use Microsoft Excel to provide the table below, which shows the author's name, book supply, and their unit price in Naira. So we are to use Excel, not Microsoft Word. Look at it, there's even a warning that says, note, no mark shall be awarded for using other package. So you have to do this using Microsoft Excel. So without saying more, let's just dive into the business of the day. I will launch Microsoft Excel on my computer. I click on my start button, locate Microsoft Excel. By now, you should know how to launch Microsoft Excel using on a computer system. In my previous lesson, I showed us how to launch Microsoft Excel if you are using an operating system other than Windows 8. My computer is running Windows 8 operating system. So if your computer is running a different operating system, the way you launch Microsoft Excel will be different from what I just did. So in our last video, I showed us how to do that. You can refer to that video if you don't know how to launch Microsoft Excel. But it is assumed in this lesson that you know how to launch Microsoft Excel. Okay, so here we need to enter this data first. I'm going to enter this data on the table. You know what? I'm going to pause this video. I will come back when I'm through entering this data. Okay, I've entered all the data. First of all, I need to adjust my table. So first, I will need to make this column wider so that everything can show there. So I'm going to drag and adjust. I'll do the same thing for this. Place your mouse on the vertical line, click and drag. Do the same thing here. Number of book. Do the same thing here and there. Okay. So let's look at the next task. The first task we need to do here is that they say we should set the page margin to 0.5 inch for top, bottom, left, and right. So I'm going to go to there's one short way. I'll click on this office button and go to print preview. Then I'll go to page setup. Now click on the margin tab. Click on margin tab. Here I'll see this top. I'll change it to 0.5. Okay, click on bottom. The same thing, 0.5. Left 0.5. Of course, right 0.5. And I'm done. I just click OK and I close this. Okay, so the next, we are through with this first task. So the next task is just set the page size to A4 and orientation to landscape. So this one I could just do it from here. I'll just click on insert tab. Okay, I'll click on page layout, set the orientation to landscape, page page size to A4 idea. Okay, so I'm through with this task. Next task is task 3. Type the data in alphabetic order using the author's name in uppercase with font size of 16 point. So since I have look at something, there's a problem here. We have already typed this data, but not in alphabetical order. But it's okay, it's fine. You don't need to delete all this in order to type it in alphabetical order. No, there's a function in Excel that we use to sort, to arrange this in alphabetical order. So how do we do that? First, we select this set of data. Click on the home tab and go to sorting. At the sorting, so select A to Z. Just select it, expand. Yes, that's okay. Then the next thing we need to do is we are not through with that task yet, but they say we sort it in alphabetical order using author's name in uppercase font, in uppercase using font size of 16. So we need to type this thing. We need to put this in uppercase, right, in capital letter. Uppercase means capital letter. But there's a little problem there. You see, in Microsoft Word, there's a function. If I wanted to type this whole thing in capital letter, If I want to change it to capital letters, uppercase, I don't need to delete it and retype it again. No, there's a function in Excel that I can just use to change everything in capital letter, and that function is right here, this button. If I just click on it and I see uppercase, everything has turned to capital letter. If I want to do the same thing to lowercase, I can do that. But the problem here is that this function is not there in Excel. It is not there in Excel. So how do we do that? How do we do that? So I'm going to show us how to do this. You don't need to delete the whole of this data. I'm going to show us how you change this into uppercase. First, we'll start from here. We'll click on this first, go to the formula bar. We'll type equals, sign on the keyboard, type uppercase, that is type upper. Just double click on it, then put the quotation mark here. Press End key on your keyboard and put quotation mark at the end. Close the bracket and press enter. Everything is in capital letter now. We'll do the same thing for the second one. Equals uppercase. Yes, double click quotation. Go to the end by pressing the End key on your keyboard. Put quotation mark and close the bracket. The same thing. Upper quotation and quote close. The same thing. Equals upper quote close. Equal upper quote and quote close brackets. Equal upper quote and quote close. Equal upper quotation and quotation mark close. Let's enter. Something else. Equal upper quote and quote close. Alright. And they say we should change the font size to 16. I think so. So I'm going to select all that. Click on this and click on this number and then go to 16. I'll just readjust this. Okay. So the next thing, let's look at the next task. So here with task 3, type the data in alphabetic order using the author's name and uppercase with font size of 16 point. We have done that. Next, change author's name, school, number of books, and unit price to uppercase and bold them. So we have to do the same thing here. I'll just highlight it. I'll first of all bold it, and I'll change this to uppercase. I'll do the same thing there. Upper and yeah. And I'll do the same thing. Quote and close. Something here. Equals upper quote and close. Something upper equals upper quote and close. Okay. Let's look at the next task. And both. So we are through with this task. So here, let's look at it. Insert column number of students between school and the number of books, and let the column contain the following data. So we need to create another column in between these two. We need to create another column. So how do we do that? In between these two, we create an empty column. So I'll click on this and I'll go to insert sheet column. Yeah. Okay. So they say we should call it number of what? Number of students. So I'll just come here and type here number of students. Okay. And they said that let the column contain the following data. So we have 700, 490. Let's come here. So 700, 490. Oops, sorry. 700, 490. That's 520, 830, 520, 830, 650, 1000, 650, 1000. Okay, and this is 1020 and 924. 2020, 924 students. Okay, so we are through with that. We are through with this tax here. So let's look at the next tax. Insert column total cost after unit price. Calculate this using a formula. So we need to create another column again just after the unit price. So we'll call it total cost. Call this total cost. Alright. Just put something bold it. Okay, and they say we should calculate this column using a formula. Now, if you look at some, let me explain this first before we go ahead and calculate it. First, if you look at this table, this place is telling the total number of students in this school. This one is giving you books supplied to that school, while this one is telling how much per book. How much per book? There are 56 books given to this school. Now, each of those books is 500 naira. So, if we want to get the total cost for this book, I mean, to be 500 times 56. Okay, so we don't want to use calculator to do that. Okay, there's a function in Excel that we can use to calculate the total price. How do you do it? You just click on this. Since you want the total cost to display here, so click on that cell, type equals. So it should be cell. Let me delete and explain it first. Look at this. This cell is what? E2. Look at the cell name here, E2. This one is FL2. So we are going to multiply two of them together. We'll say cell E2 times FL2. So we'll type that here. We'll type equals first. I'll type E2 times F2. Press enter key on the keyboard here. Okay, so this is the total cost of books supplied to this school. So we'll do the same thing for here. This one will be E3 times F3. Okay, do the same thing. So we don't want to repeat that. We'll just copy and paste it. So how do you do that? Just take your mouse to the edge, to the bottom, to this corner until you see this cross, then click and drag to the bottom there. So that is the total cost for each school. Total cost of book supplies to each school. So I think we are through with this. Then the next task is insert the column percent and let it contain the following data. So I think we need to create another column and call it percent. So create a column and call it percent. Alright, just bold it, and they're giving us the data to enter on that column. So these are the data. We have 4%, 12%, and 9%. 4%, 12%, and 9%. And next is we have 15%, 30%, 2%, 15%, 30%. Okay, how many percent do we have there? 2%, 10%, 2%, 10%, and then finally is what? 18%. 18%. Okay. So next, we are through with that. Next, say format all document in the table using Times New Roman with font size of 16. So I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet. I'll select all the data and format it using a font style using Times New Roman. I'll just type it here. Just type Times New Roman. Look at it there. Okay, yeah. Font size of 16. Okay, I think our table has changed a little bit, so I'm going to adjust it so that everything should fit in. Okay, number of students, number of books, unit price for total cost. Okay, total cost and the percentage there. Alright, so we're through with this. Next is this tax. Use the column, school and percent to prepare a pie chart. So we are going to use two columns to prepare a pie chart, school and the percent to prepare a pie chart. How do we do that? First, I will come to this place. I will select this school. I will select the school. Then I'll come to percent and select. But if you select school and come and select this one, the other one will be deselected. So how do you select both at the same time? First, I select this and I'll hold the control key on my keyboard, then select this one. Let me show you something. If I open this keyboard, you hold this control key on your keyboard. First of all, select the school column, then hold this control key and select the other one. Okay, that's how I select multiple columns at the same time. So I'm going to do that. After selecting this, I'll hold my control key and select this one here. So I have selected two columns. Then I'll go to insert. Look at pie chart. I'll click on this pie. Then I'll select 2D pie. Just select this one. There I have it. Okay. So this is the graph. First, I will need to do some formatting. Okay, I will need to do some formatting. I'll have to make this in bigger. The chart to make it a little bit bigger, wider. Okay, right there, and there. I think this size is okay. All right, and first, we need to format this chart. Okay, look at the legend box. We need to format it. First of all, the first thing I need to do, I need to right click on this chart, and I right click on the chart. I'll go to format data series. All right, and I'll go to look at that. I'll go back to home, go to design. Let me look at layout. I'll select layout, then I will select legend. Look at legend. I'll say okay, that legend is okay. I'll select data label. I'll say center or best fit. Let's select best fit. Okay, so best fit. So you see the percentage is now showing inside the pie chart area. For example, this Aldaradon College, look at, they have 2% of total books supplied. They have 2%. So see, the percentage is not showing on this pie chart. If I want to format more, at this point you are okay, you are good to go. You can leave it at this and submit. But let me just show us something a little bit just to make our pie chart more beautiful. I can click on the chart, then I'll go to design, just select a layout. I'll just choose any of these. This one look more like a gold, like this. So I think this is better. Alright, so this legend, I can leave it the way it is. It's okay like this. Okay, it's okay like this. And if I want, I can add a chart title. Alright, but if you have time, you can do that. I mean, you go to layout and chart title, and just add a chart title, call it a books, list of books, or chart of book supply if you want, charts of book supply. If you have time, you can do this. Alright, but this is not included. This is not part of the option, the instruction given. Take note of that. This is not part of the instruction given. It's only one. If you think you have time to do this, you can do it. You can go ahead and do it. Alright. So let's look at the next task. Our next task is to just save your work and print it out on the hard copy. Alright. So at this point, if you do it up to this point, you have 22 marks. 22 out of 30. The remaining 8 marks is you just need to take some precaution. You have to, they say, use computer system to answer these questions. 1. State any 2 precautions taken while performing the task above. List any, for example, of a spreadsheet package. So these ones you type them out on using Microsoft Word. Okay, so let's look at the last task here. We'll save our work and print it out. So I'm going to save my work and go back to the spreadsheet and just click on office button, save as, and I'll just save it on my desktop. I'll type give it a file name. Let's just call it book book supplied, and click save. Alright, so for printing, how do we print this? First, we need to select the whole of this. We need to select the whole of the printable area on our spreadsheet. Printable area. Then we'll set print area. This is not included. Let me go back and select it again. Select from here, starting from this one here, go the way to percentage, and I'll come down to this point. Alright, then I'll come and set, and click on the page layout, and I'll click on print area. I'll say set print area. Alright, then I will go to my office button. I'll go to print preview. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so it's cutting off some part of our document. Let's look at page setup. Landscape is good. Let's see if we can select fit in one page. See if it will work. Alright, look at that. I think everything is showing now. Okay, so everything is now on the one page. Everything is showing. Everything is not showing. Alright, let's see if we can add any other thing there. Fit into one page, which is good. Margin is good. Everything is good. If you want to add grid line, just click on grid line and I'll click OK. There we have it. Alright, so I just plug your printer and select whichever printer that you have plugged, select it for it to show on this place. Select the printer and just click OK, and you're good to go. Alright, so this is just how you answer an exam question if you're writing any of the external exam, WAEC or NECO. Okay, this question is from NECO 2015. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.